Okay, in this video, I'm going to quickly run you through my system for using AI to create content that generates LinkedIn leads. So this setup is quite different to maybe ones you've seen before with templates and, just ChatGPT and brackets or whatever, or maybe you just ask ChatGPT for a post. This requires a bit more preparation, but the preparation then allows you to pump out posts a lot faster and with a lot less editing. So it all starts, my system is where I've basically created a document that completely outlines what I want a LinkedIn post to look like. So style of writing, length, what each section, the function of each section. So my framework is called the AIVAV. So that stands for attention, interest, value, action, visual. So you can see 991 extracted lines here. So I've given it a 991 line description of what to put in with lots of examples of every single part of it. So rather than every time I don't have to write in a new prompt to tell LinkedIn what the type of post that I want to create. It already knows that. So I just export that as a PDF, almost as like a training document that I would give to, say, a junior writer. Exactly the same thing. Create that, export it as a PDF, and then all I have to do is give the outline. So say use the framework in the PDF. You have to make sure that you use it or you mention it to write a 300 to 320 word LinkedIn post about a topic. So in this case, you can just see it's how I helped B2B companies make $100 million in sales using cold outreach systems. So this isn't for me, this is for someone who I'm helping write. And then I want to give them a small bit of context, so you can give more or less context here, but it's good to give it some information about how you would do that. So typically you might say, these are the 5 steps, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 sentences. You don't need to write the whole post out, but you should give it the kind of outline to follow, because otherwise it might go off a track that you don't agree with, and then you'll spend a lot of time editing it. Sorry about that. Spend a lot of time editing it. So in this case, I just say I generally use cold email to book sales calls, and then use retargeting ads to retarget people who don't initially book the sales call. So in this case, that was enough information for me. I wasn't going into a huge amount of detail. As I say, the more information you add, the better. And then it just writes the post as per both as a function of the topic, the narrative, and the framework. And when you do it like this, you get a post that's very close to the finished article straight away. Then it's changing the specific information in the post such that it builds your authority, adds specificity, builds trust around what you do, and that's how we get it to convert into leads. So in my framework, I've said a lot about being specific and using numbers. So here I'd come along and I'd give this real number. This is just a guess number by the AI, but I would give this as a real number. I'd look for other instances where I can inject my voice and specific experiences and things that have actually happened to me. Because remember, AI is not as good as you at what you do. It's just good at mimicking it to a kind of a junior level degree. And you want to come along and add that extra layer of information that only you as the expert have. Then this is Claude AI, by the way. I don't use ChatGPT, so it's CLAUDE.ai. The copy output's a lot better for LinkedIn. It doesn't do visuals, so then what I'm going to come along with is add a visual. My go-tos are just a video explainer, maybe 3 to 5 minutes explaining what's being talked about in the post, or it could be an image of an annotated image with arrows and little descriptions around it as well. And you can add a cheat sheet as well that can do very well. So those are the ones that tend to do the best for me. In terms of what to talk about in your post, basically try and teach your audience something. If you're struggling to come up with ideas, picture one person, maybe it could be a previous customer or someone who you want to educate about what you do. You're not trying to sell to them. Picture them sitting across from you on the other side of the desk and try to teach them something. Like in the post, it should be the step guide that they need to do in order to get the outcome that you're trying to help them achieve. So think of the steps. What are the steps that you would help them implement? Type that out in basic code, pair that with your framework, output the post, add a video, add a DM me PS section saying if you found this interesting, send me a DM and we'll talk about how I can help you. So if you do this daily, you get into when you start doing this, it might take a bit of time. It took me maybe 20, 30 minutes per post because I was really getting used to it. But after a while, I kind of know how to crank posts out in 10, 15 minutes each. And my posts can generate anywhere from, 30, 40, 50, 70 leads a day at this point. So that's how I create content with AI. That's how I get customers through LinkedIn with AI. You can do this as well. Give it a go. Use Claude AI. Try and put together your writing style into a guide. Export it and use it, and let me know how you go. If you need help putting it together, or you want to use my one, click the link below to learn a bit more about LinkedIn AI Mastery. The system that I just described is kind of the core of how I help people create content that generates leads and helps them sign B2B customers through LinkedIn. Leave it at that for now. Cheers.